Hey everyone, it's Stranger Grayson here. Welcome back to another horror movie video. Today we're doing another haul for Blu-rays or DVDs, whatever you want to call it. Mainly Blu-rays. I only collect DVDs if the movie's not on Blu-ray, but you get the gist. Um, Today's a special one because it's actually all of like one subgenre of horror, and it is the Stephen King at film adaptations. And two of them are basically the same movie, one's different, but I'll get into that here in just a few minutes. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the Critters reviews. I know it's not the most popular franchise out there, but I think a lot of people enjoyed it. I know 4 and Attack are not all that good, but anyway, I'm gonna try to get a ranking of that soon. When I have the time, I will. But I just want to go ahead and get a haul out there, so in case you guys want any more videos, you'll have one. So without further ado, why not go ahead and get into it? First movie we got here is a classic, and it's one that my parents loved growing up, and they actually showed me this movie. I think this was one of my first ever Stephen King movies, besides another one that I'll be showing in a second. And that movie is Pet Sematary. Uh, this came out in 1989? 88 or 89 is when this came out. And this is one of my favorite film adaptations of his books. I know it does get kind of graphic at some points, and there is a dark moment in here, but I think that's what makes his movies so good, or his books so good. I know politically and just here recently, Stephen King is not very popular, but disregarding that, if you're just separating the art from the artist and you just go by his books, it's some of my favorite horror besides Goosebumps. And this movie is such a good one. I can't wait to review this for you guys. Hopefully, I can do like a Stephen King marathon at some point and just start reviewing all his movies. Maybe not all in one time, but just like every now and then I'll do a review and then rank them all. So let me know what you think of Pet Sematary. There's a front and spine and all that. So yeah, Pet Sematary. Definitely interesting one. And it has the guy that plays Herman from The Monsters. What's his name? I don't think it has it on here. But yeah. So yeah. Great movie. Then we have the remake of the same thing that came out in 2019. I think is it 2019. And I've never seen it, but I've heard mixed things about it, and it's kind of got me nervous wanting to watch this. I think the cover is pretty cool, but I watched the trailer for it, and it pretty much spoiled like the main plot of the movie, which if you're going to release a trailer about a movie, don't give away the main plot in like the first 5 seconds. So don't do that. And don't watch the trailer if you haven't watched it, because it will give it away. So I've kind of already gotten spoiled a little bit about what happened, but I don't know the whole story, so it's kind of a blind eye when I go in, or blind watch when I go into reading or watching this. Sorry, I can't talk today. No digital code, unfortunately. So if I do want to go somewhere, I can't watch it. But yeah. So back, front, spine, y'all get the gist. So yeah, that is Pet Sematary, the original and the remake. I don't own 2 yet. Hopefully I can own it at some point. I think that's the only time. I think that's one of the only times where Stephen King's stories haven't been a book. I think that was just made out of popularity. So yeah, one more Stephen King movie I got for you here, and this one's special to my mom and dad because this was, I think, one of the first movies they saw in theaters before they got married. They were just dating at the time, and then they showed it to me years later when I was like 8 or 9, and that movie is a John Carpenter film, and that is Christine. I cannot wait to review this. This is tied for one of my favorite horror movies of all time, which when I do get to that, you'll understand why, but John Carpenter does an amazing job with this. I have not read the novel, but I know it kind of varies drastically from the movie. But disregarding that, this is a solid film. Arnie Cunningham, I think, is a great protagonist. Christina's a villain, like an evil car. I think that's great. This is actually something I talked to Michael, Goosebumps fan, about, or Strange Michael, if you know him from his horror movie channel. And there was a Series 2000 Goosebumps book called The Haunted Car, and it kind of reminded me of this in a way. So, yeah, this movie just holds a special place in my heart, and I can't wait to review it. So, yeah. Okay, that was all the Stephen King movies, but there is one out of the bunch that is like an odd egg. And this is a movie that I want to, or a franchise that I want to cover for kind of the midsummer time. I know it's not fully summer yet, and it's not a long franchise. I just want to get a summertime franchise out for you guys just so you have something to binge. And that is the Hatchet franchise, starting with this first movie. This is what I want to cover next, and hopefully you guys will enjoy them. I know Hatchet is kind of very bloody and violent, but it is supposed to be like a comedy horror type of thing. I think this one is more horror than comedy. When you get into the sequels, it gets a lot more comedic. But this stars Joel David Moore, who was in Avatar, and Dionne Richards, who was in Scream 3, and Tamara Feldman. I don't know what she's from, but she plays the character Mary Beth in here. This is one of the only ones that I've seen recently, but I want to do a rewatch of it so I can get a better premise, because I watched it with a few friends and it was hard to follow the movie. But yeah, so Hatchet is what we'll be covering. Adam Green, I don't know much about him. This is one of the horror franchise, I think one of the only horror franchises that he did. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But there's the front and back spine. So yeah, can't wait to review this, and let me know what your thoughts on it is down in the comments. Well, that has been the horror movie haul today, or Stephen King haul, if you can say that. So there's all 4 of them here. Thank you all so much for watching, and let me know what your thoughts are on the movies down in the comment section down below. God bless, and have a great afternoon. Bye, everyone.